Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back in Vancouver. I had a wonderful couple of weeks off to visit my family and my friends out on the east coast of Canada. Spent some time in Ottawa, where I was born and raised, and also spent a pretty magical weekend in beautiful Montreal, where I took my lovely and gorgeous girlfriend, Nancy, out for a night on the town, and I asked her to marry me. And what do you know? She said yes. So lucky for me, feeling really blessed right now and full of joy and gratitude. And we are now officially engaged, which is crazy. Yeah, we had such a fantastic time out there. It was the first time that she met my whole family. And actually, we went on this big camping trip together, which was totally mind-blowing. So yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling rejuvenated, and just thought I'd share that little piece of good news with you guys. So of course, I came well prepared for this camping trip that we went on. And I brought my trusty Zoom recorder because I know from the many years of growing up in Ontario and camping pretty much every summer that not only are we, blessed here in Canada to be surrounded by some of the world's most stunning natural beauty, but it's accompanied by some of the most beautiful and unique sounds as well. And these sounds are always kind of like what makes me feel the most nostalgic. And so, yeah, I decided to write a track that was inspired by three sounds in particular. So let me tell you what these are. The first sound is simply the canoe paddle hitting the water. I don't know what it is about this, but when you're like on a quiet lake, just paddling to nowhere in particular, in a canoe, of course, taking in the beauty around you, just that whirling sound of the paddle hitting the water has this incredible meditative effect on me. And I really wanted to capture that and use it as a percussive tool in this track. The second sound is simply the crickets at night. I absolutely love this sound. I get some of my best sleeps, when I'm just in a tent, drifting off to the rhythm of the crickets. And even though they can actually be pretty damn loud, it's just one of those ambient noises which, just immediately puts my soul at ease. I decided to write this track at 90 BPM actually, and these crickets that I recorded were like right on the beat, funny enough. I chopped up a small section and looped it, and it worked out perfectly as like a percussive instrument. The third sound, which is by far my favorite, is the Canadian loon. For me personally, there's few sounds that evoke such a distinctly nostalgic feeling as this particular bird call. So the loon has two distinct types of calls it makes. One is long like this, and the other is a short flutter. So in this track, I use them both, of course, and it kind of puts the icing on the cake. Full disclosure, even though we were lucky enough to see some loons on our trip, I wasn't able to actually capture the sound of one close up. So I used a recording that I found from freesound.org, which is a very handy site, by the way, if you're looking for like random Foley or nature sounds. So with my three samples ready to go, I was looking for some chord inspiration, and I came across this really vibey loop on Splice, which sounds like this. And I basically built the whole track around that. That's basically the anchor point. So I wanted to lock these crickets in too, which is pretty easy, like I said, because they're pretty much already right on time. And I just kind of looped them, took a little section of the sample. It sounds like this. Next thing I did was take the paddle sample from the canoe and just kind of did the same thing, just chopped it up to give it a little bit of rhythm. I also have both of those going through a compressor, which is sidechained to a kick to give it a little bit more bounce. Found another organic percussion loop, which I also threw into the mix, and altogether they all sound like this now. And once I had all that down, I basically just started adding layers. So adding in some synth and electric guitar to kick off the intro here. As for the loon calls, they pretty much fit in perfectly. I didn't even need to pitch it up or down or anything. I started the bar with the long call, and then I finished it off with the flutter, which sounds like this. Put that through a bit of reverb too, of course, just to kind of give it a little bit of a cinematic effect. I wanted to add an emotional vibe to the intro, so I added in a string section, which sounds like this. Which is basically a combination of the Arcus library and two solo cello patches from the Spitfire solo strings libraries. I ended up using my own bass for the bass line, and it ended up sounding really nice with everything. just a really simple groove. The track really ended up kind of being like a jam. I started it, I guess, knowing that it wasn't going to be something that I would probably be submitting to music libraries anyway. It basically just ended up being, you know, just something I did for fun. So I took the liberty of adding in a guitar solo, which is something I'd probably never do for like a licensing track. But like I said, I'm just having fun on this one. And, you know, if you're writing mostly music for libraries like I am, then it's really nice to just step away once in a while and write something with no intention other than just, you know, to have fun and to experiment. So nothing crazy in terms of a guitar solo, just kind of like some tasty licks once in a while. There's a handful of other subtle layering I did, and I'll definitely do a deeper dive on all those details on a Patreon post for sure. So make sure to hit me up there if you want to see that, and I'll get into all the nitty-gritty details. And maybe I'll just let the last bit of this track roll at the very end of this video, and I'll throw in some of my footage from our canoe trip. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. That's it for today. It's great to be back in action. I hope you're all doing well. As always, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the track. Let me know what's going on with you guys, or if you have any questions. And as always, if you're interested in leveling up your production and mixing skills, please feel free to join the Production Music Academy. It's free to join, and you'll be the first to be notified about all the upcoming deals and the new courses. And as always, if you're looking for personalized feedback on your tracks, along with access to in-depth production tutorials, make sure to hit up my Patreon. I'll put all those links below. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.